Hi there. Welcome to Belt Friends. My name is Casey Hutchinson. I'm the president of Empire Rubber and Supply Company. And this is my podcast where I sit down with industry leaders to discuss conveyor belting, certain accessories related, and get to know various folks and turn them upside down and see what's fun when they're not doing this as well. Today, I'm very fortunate to have my guest, Robb Britt, Chief Executive Officer, Rubber Accessories and 2008 NIBA President. Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you.
Glad you're here today.
Thank you.
We're here at the convention, so a little different setup than the studio that George and I are traditionally running this in. So this has been exciting. I'm glad you had time in your schedule to take to get down and sit down and get to know you.
I appreciate the time to get to know you.
Well, normally I hand the conch off first to you with asking you to tell us about yourself, where you grew up, family, education.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm Robb Britt with Rubber and Accessories, and I'm the CEO and owner of the company. Most notably, I'm second generation, so I'm quite proud of that. I was actually born in Georgia, but raised mostly in Lakeland, Florida, when my dad chose to move us to start the business. And there kind of had a interesting path to my degrees. My degrees that I am working in professionally are not what I originally set out to do. So graduated high school. My dad always said, get a job, get your degrees, and you're on your own. So I moved to Georgia to get my first degree and started working in that field and found that my strongest qualities were more business driven than what I chose.
What did you choose?
Interior design.
Oh, wow.
I did.
Excellent.
And ironically worked for a company that didn't pay their bills. So as I was selling, I couldn't get factories to ship to us. So I was trying to navigate both of those things so I could close deals. But it was a great experience. Almost immediately went back to school to get my bachelor's in business, and then finished my MBA program in Florida, moved back to Florida, finished the MBA at Florida Southern College.
Oh, that's...
So it's interesting where life takes you.
I can say that myself. Different aspirations, and then you got led into so after getting your second degree, did you jump right into our industry?
I did not.
What did you do then?
So then I went into, my dad still was very non-communicative about offering me a position, so I did as he instructed. I landed a job that was probably the best circumstance anybody could be in fresh out of college. With a very large manufacturing company. They manufactured safety systems.
Okay.
And when I started at the company, I was somewhere in the 400th employee list. 5 years after I was there, it was well into international multi-businesses, a lot of mergers and acquisitions. And I was fortunate enough to work in the Treasury Department under the gentleman that was spearheading all of these activities. So, and as fast as we were growing, they did not staff up as fast. So each opportunity that became available, I had my name in the hat. So I was very fortunate to work under his leadership and experience some opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten in even 25 years somewhere.
No kidding.
Yeah, so, and about the fifth year, my dad approached me and said, here's what I've had in mind. I was completely surprised, as a daughter, all the accolades and promotions and yes, even my paychecks, I'd send him copies and, what do you think of this sort of thing? So he said, sounds like you love what you're doing, but here's what I have in mind. And I turned in a 2-month notice and started at Rubber and Accessories January 1st of 97.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So before I ask about your next adventure into Rubber Accessories, tell us about Rubber and Accessories.
So we're founded in 1972.
Okay.
We have 2 branches. We've got about a 60,000 square foot distribution center in Lakeland, Florida, and about a 14,000 square foot branch in Tucker, Georgia. And we fabricate and distribute conveyor belt, both lightweight and heavyweight, as well as industrial hose.
Oh, wow.
And then we stretch out into all the related products, and some that don't even follow under that umbrella. But you know how that is.
We can sell a broom, we'll sell a broom, right?
Absolutely. So, but it's we've been in business, like I said, for 53 years. Probably have by far I think, best staff in the industry and the most amazing customers. So we sell through distribution. We sell to almost every industry. We're very fortunate not to be just one niche product group or industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that experience. That's good stuff. Mm-hmm. Your father founded the company?
He did.
Okay.
His whole life, his family used to go to Florida every year for vacation. He and his four brothers and sisters, and he always thought, I want to start a business in Florida. And he tells the story he told the story that he was sitting in a hotel one night in Lakeland and said, this is where I will start the business. So
like Babe Ruth at the plate.
He did. So we invited a partner to join him, and literally came to Lakeland, did almost everything on a handshake, started with a very small warehouse, drove up many nights to Georgia to get inventory to have it for delivery the next day.
Oh, wow.
So I think of that a lot. You think the business that I've been fortunate to work in, and I always remember how the things he had to do differently to build that business.
Yeah.
And the honorable man he was. So much of what he did was literally on a handshake.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I miss business handling itself that way. Yeah.
I do too.
Did he have experience prior to? He was working in the belt industry prior to this decision.
He did. He actually started at the rubber house emptying trash cans, and worked his way into the fabrication and wanted to go into sales. And they told him that they didn't have a place for him. So he made a move to go to Boston. And Boston hired him as a salesperson, and then he became a regional sales manager. And from there, he decided to start his own company in Florida.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's ambitious.
So it is. So again, never know where life's going to take you.
No, but I mean, I couldn't imagine starting something from nothing. That's impressive.
Right.
So I'm fascinated learning about your father, because I too worked for my father as well. Why did he have these series of you got to achieve this before he finally made the offering? I mean, I think it's cool that he did that, because he certainly gained some experience there.
Right. I don't know what the preface of it was, other than maybe he knew me well enough to know that I had to know I could do it on my own. Mm. Or he mentioned before he likes that I was out in the real world, so that when I came into a family-owned business, I'd know the dynamic of business. So yeah,
that makes sense.
Right. He wasn't one to roll out the red carpet. Anybody that knows me, I tell the story. He offered the job with, this is what I have in mind, told me he was working towards retirement, and he pushed an envelope across the table, and he said, here's what you will not have. And that's how he started.
Oh, gosh.
I still have that letter, and it's all sorts of fun things like, no first class travel, no company car, no company credit card, no vacation the first year, like all of these.
Oh my gosh.
Very much like my dad. So again, it was the best thing he could have done.
Well, that's humbling, because, you got to welcome aboard, but you still got to earn it, kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
So I've asked you about the markets you serve. I mean, you told me how diverse your company is. A lot of different markets in your real estate, food processing, all the way up to heavy aggregate and everywhere in between.
Mm-hmm. We sell throughout the entire Southeast. So we sell to both distribution and end users in the state of Florida. When we move outside of the state, we sell through somebody. So we ship a blind on their behalf.
Okay.
So I don't know of a market that we don't serve at this point. We're constantly looking for new customers and new markets, but there's really nothing that we're not able to do.
No way.
Our gentlemen that fab our orders, sometimes we'll get inquiries for something that's, not really a belt or not a hose or not a gasket. And we'll take it out to the warehouse and say, hey guys, how do we get from here to here? So that gets us into other types of markets that really are not related to belt or hose.
They all exist. I mean, you got to have busy work in between it all sometimes.
Right.
So full service as far as you do value add in-house, fastening, cleating, guiding, that sort of stuff?
We do.
Okay.
We have 2 cleat machines. We put profiles top and bottom on PVC belts. We have 3 belt slitters. We do some custom fab with, like I'm sure a lot of people do with the glues and adhesives, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we create a lot of different things.
That's fun.
Probably the most interesting part of when somebody comes to join your organization, when they say, what do you do here? It's hard to explain. You just have to see it. No 2 orders are the same. Our guys pick up an order to fab, and it's completely different than the one prior to it. So it's quite a good time every day.
I like that. We're guilty of some of that too, because I think it would be a bit mundane always grabbing that same item off the shelf, so to speak, and time to make the donuts.
Exactly. It's true.
So are you full service in the field as well? Do you go out and install?
Through a contractor.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood. It's hard to be the complete jack of all trades.
Right.
Especially if you're busy in house like that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of boots on the ground as far as sales is concerned?
We do. We have 5 sales guys traveling the entire state of Florida and up into Georgia.
Okay.
And then a 5-member inside sales staff. We're very heavy on sales, which was one of the first things that my dad told me when I started there. Sales is what we do. And I thought that was quite interesting way to step into the company. It's a sales mindset.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I try to preach that through our organization that almost everyone's in sales because, you're putting on your business and selling it at everything you do.
Right. I see it more of you're helping a customer and, it's a joint effort, them and us. So how can we serve that person that's on the other end of the phone or in the field when they have a need?
I can applaud that philosophy. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you find rewarding about the work you do?
A lot of things. Probably my top 2 are the customers that we serve and our employees and the interaction between the 2. Sometimes I just sit and listen to how an inquiry comes in and then the banter amongst them. And I think, we're solving problems here every day. And it's sometimes very special. We have a lot of talented people in our office, and some have different backgrounds. My favorite times are when a customer has a need, and you hear maybe 2 of our inside sales addressing the need and that interaction, because then you actually see the talent that people really have.
Yeah. I'm guilty of that. I like eavesdropping on things, and it's just trying to stop me from chiming in with my own 2 cents from time to time is difficult.
Yeah, that is very difficult.
Well, I'm all about relationships too, and once you garner those, you can't let them down, and that's vital as well.
Right.
So when I was going to ask, as far as well, I'll just dive into it. Here we are at the convention, and not only just garnering relationships that you have with your customers and those that you firm up with your employees, but here you are getting to know peers in your industry. What is involvement in NIBA? And if you don't mind, actually, it started before you with your father.
It did. It did. The first year of business, my dad realized that having a network of peers and manufacturers and distributors that you can network with and talk about what we do was important. And he had heard of NIBA and immediately joined. The story he always told was he served on every committee. At that time, it was a very small association, and trying to get people to volunteer, the group was the committees.
Yeah.
So he did a little bit of everything through the years. So in 97, when I started with the company, the very first week, he told me, get on the phone, talk to Reverend Ron, and get on a committee.
Oh, no kidding.
And I said, a committee for what? So, and that's how I got into NIBA as an individual, not so much as a company.
Oh, wow.
But I called Reverend Ron and I said, I know little to nothing about the industry, and I would like to make a contribution. What do you see the best path to be?
Oh, my goodness.
And that's how it started. So I was on a committee within that same year. I was on a committee immediately, and it began from there.
Oh, wow.
So, probably one of the best moves I made outside of the company because of the people that you get to meet. Great friends. I mean, that is just a bonus. But everybody in this association, they do what we do.
Yeah.
And, you know who to call. You know who the really great vendors are. You know what manufacturers provide what products. And when a need surfaces at work, if we don't have it in stock, I know who to call. But I would say the long-term friendships and associations have benefited me beyond any value you could really place on it.
I believe in that. It's been vital. Even getting to know some people who've just started into this association. One of them called me after I met him last year, and it was rewarding. I didn't have a complete answer for him, but at least I could steer him the right direction to go get it. And I'm all about that. That's wonderful stuff.
Right.
So Dad jumped in. He made it up to presidency himself.
Oh, yeah. He was the president in 85.
In 85? Okay.
And then actively served on committees until I came along, and then he started to pull back.
Okay, that was going to be my next question, because usually after the presidency, there's a kind of a fall off depending.
It used to not be. So if you think back to, that would have been 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. We had a hard time getting committee members.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was. I know I made through the years many calls and said, you're perfect for a committee spot, and here's how you will benefit both personally and professionally. Come join us. And it was tough sometimes to get committee members.
No kidding.
And so, so I think a lot of the past presidents in the beginning, they naturally fell back to the committees because we needed workers.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Because nowadays it seems like we're pretty wadded up, and which is a wonderful thing. I didn't realize there was a lull.
It is. Yeah. It's impressive to sit back and watch.
Well, yeah, especially nowadays, modern tools, things like that. I don't know, in your own business, I've kind of witnessed a fall off on the phone ringing, and that doesn't mean you're not getting the business. There's just modern tools at play. So.
Right. Do you ever get used to it?
No, I want that phone to ring.
Me too.
Yeah. We still have a receptionist for answering that phone because I want that personal touch.
We do too. Yes.
Yeah. So you jumped in and got on board a committee. How long did you work on committees till it was you climbed the top rung at NIBA?
So I was started in 97 and worked on a committee till, it would have been a 5-year run on the executive committee. So 2002, I guess I was invited to be on the executive committee. So I did committee work and then went to the board, which was quite a great exposure.
Yeah.
And then by about 2003 was asked to start in the chain for the presidency.
Excellent. And that was, I get to bring it up. I mean, you'd mentioned it when we talked prior to the podcast. There weren't a lot of ladies in this industry when you first joined up. How rewarding to be the first?
Yeah, it was interesting because people comment on that a lot to me, and I can honestly say when I walked into the room for the convention in 1997, that was nowhere near in my thoughts that I was the only lady in the room. Eventually, it dawned on me that I was, but I never really gave it much consideration other than I'm here to build my career and serve the company so I can go back and serve customers. And that's how I pursued it. I did start forming tight relationships with the ladies that were there, obviously, as with everyone else. But to be the first woman president was somewhat shocking, because there's some great people that have contributed ahead of me that are ladies, and I knew all of them. But I think the thing I'm most proud of is being the first second generation.
I was going to mention that too. I noticed that on your guys' website. That's a great tip of the cap. It speaks to your family. Right.
And not knowing my dad, it's quite an honor to come behind him in anything. So it's very rewarding.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you mention it too, because I just don't think about women in business. I just think about business. So until I learned that factoid, I thought, wow, it took that long. That's crazy. It's remarkable, but it's still. My dad had a female vice president who was there when I first started. So, just seeing women active in our marketplace was okay. I mean, that's all I knew. I didn't know that it was that unique, but we keep growing and it keeps developing more. And boy, lo and behold, here's Stephanie going to be the second one next year.
I know.
Do you know Stephanie Davis? I mean, she's in your neck of the woods, so you have to know her.
I do know her, yes. So I'm very happy for her. This will be a great experience. And I was speaking with her yesterday about it, and I said, enjoy every moment. It's a different experience that kind of like a once in a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
So she will enjoy it.
Well, she's a go-getter like you, so it'll be fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
So since then, I know you keep coming back to the convention. Do you have other employees that you get involved in this, or?
We do almost all the trainings that are out there, so our employees are very heavily involved in the trainings. And then, fortunately, we're able to connect some of our employees with those in the industry. So that has been rewarding. We're also members of 2 other associations, so they participate in those as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What are those organizations, if I may ask?
NAHAD, the Hose Association.
Yes.
And IDCO, which is a hose buy group.
Oh, okay. I have heard about them, yes.
Small businesses participate in that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We used to do hose back in the day, but it got a bit competitive in our neck of the woods that we had to kind of make a decision to stay the course with belting. So, well, okay, we've talked about belting. We've talked about your involvement in it. Let's step away from that. What's fun when you're not doing conveyor belting?
I'm a scuba diver.
You're a scuba diver?
I'm a scuba diver.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that is probably the place I relax most.
Oh, wow.
As soon as I step off a boat, that hour that I get in nature, 50 feet down is probably about my happiest place. And just seeing the fish and being in the element reefs and enjoying, you never know what's going to come up.
Yeah.
You might see something you've never seen before. You might see the same thing that you've seen, but it's in a different setting. No matter how many dives I do, I don't think I've ever been bored on any of them.
I wouldn't doubt it. You're in the right real estate for it, too.
Yes.
Has it taken you elsewhere in the world to experience it as well?
It has. My favorite place is Bonaire, which is in between Aruba and Curacao.
Okay.
And we've been there probably more times than I should admit to.
Well, now you're letting everyone know they're going to show up and take it over a bit.
Well, as being from Florida, when you dive, and probably just my personality, I do like a calm dive. 6-foot seas are not fun when you're diving, and that Bonaire offers that. The seas are usually calm, the currents are manageable, and
so you rely on the conditions day to day.
Absolutely. And if I'm going to take off work and go somewhere for a week or however long I'm gone, I like to experience that culture and the environment, the weather, and all of that. It's pretty predictable there.
So is this a solo act for Jackie, or does your husband follow along and dive, or is
My
that...
husband's the reason why I dive.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So I love the beach. He does not. And he said, I'll make you a deal. You learn to dive, we'll go to the beach.
Oh, wow.
So we kind of do a combination of both.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a good compromise. Oh, wow. I've yet to do that, so I'm feeling awfully guilty, and my wife's in the corner watching over, going, "We need to do that." So
You need to do it. I tell everybody, at least try it. If it's something that you're comfortable doing, you'll never stop doing it.
Okay. All right, I'll remember that advice.
Yeah. So before we hop off, I want to say congratulations to you on a committee. Going head first into this experience of NIBA, I'm very happy for you.
Thank you very much. I certainly, the rewards of being involved here, and I think it's rewarding for myself. Certainly, I think it's great exposure for Empire Rubber and what we do. We're a lot like you, that will service the market close to us, and when we get out of bounds, we'll kind of horse trade with others or help through, distribute to other distributors, so to speak. And I've been at it 30 years myself, and it's been very rewarding. And I watched somebody said in one of my other podcasts, seeing employees through to the picket fence, so to speak. You see the rewards of having a good relationship with a customer base is certainly a good thing. Vendors, no doubt, but also within to watch people grow. I mean, they can go do that anywhere, but
Right.
You got them. Why not see them through to the gold watch?
Right. And a family-owned business, where else are you going to have these types of resources where, we're both family-owned businesses, but we could step out that door and approach any type of business. So you get some ideas as a smaller business from some of the larger ones, and network with the smaller businesses for some ideas that are different than those.
Yeah. Well, I like seeing smaller businesses thrive. There's not enough of us anymore nowadays. So.
Very true.
And this has been rewarding too, getting to know people like you, and I'm bringing George along for the ride. He's here at the convention, getting his time to photograph us having a good old time and networking himself. So it's been tremendously rewarding. Thank you.
Thank you.
My computer darkened up, so I'm just going to shoot from the cuff. But usually I ask questions that are daunting at times, and I'm not going to do that to you. But do you have a nickname that is okay, or a nickname that isn't okay?
I don't think I have either.
They might be out there and you don't want to know it or something.
Right. I guess because my name is Jackie, and people always think it's something more formal, so maybe they think that is my nickname.
Oh, like short for Jacqueline or something like that. Okay, I get that.
No nickname.
Okay, fair enough. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Slow down and enjoy the process. Charlie Vickers actually told me that in 2007, I think. And I remember the date because Charlie was a past president as well. And as I was moving my way through the executive committee, it just felt like it was fast and furious. You have this number of years span, and probably was a little earlier in my career than I was anticipating. And he said, slow down and enjoy the year. And enjoy what you're doing, because it moves quickly. And I think of that quite frequently. I mean, some days are so busy. At the end of the day, you feel like, oh my stars, what have I done? And you just think back to the opportunities that if you would have paused, you could have maybe had that connection with somebody that got skirted over, or enjoyed the process a little more instead of running to the next thing that needed to be done. So.
Yeah. That's tremendous advice.
Yeah.
What advice would you give others? You received that. That's certainly one I'm sure you pass on.
Right. I would say probably my top piece of advice might be to look in the room and know your role. One of the things that I find is, with all the responsibilities that we have, there's somebody in that room that either can offer something to that environment, or better yet, maybe you can offer something to someone. And I found that very rewarding. And again, it's something that we probably all skirt right by. We had experience yesterday, just to use that example, that I was in a small setting and we had a couple first-time attendees for the convention. And, of course, my mind goes back to that first time. What did you feel when you walked in that door, right? And I first thought, what is it that I can help that individual with, or anything? Maybe it's nothing, but to just pause and think of that other person and what your role might be and whatever it is that they are processing or going through.
No, that's great advice. You smacked me in the face with that one, because I remember walking into my first one. My dad has parallels with yours, because he was like, you just don't take your wife, just go down there by your own and start getting to know some folks. And
It's true.
It is, and thankfully there were some very kind people I haven't let go of to this day, latched on to me and gave me some good advice and made me want to come back. And I try to pay forward too. I met a gentleman last year, and it was rewarding to see him come back this year, and years past done the same thing. So that's a good one.
You're making impacts that you probably don't even realize, but you'll hear about them through the years, the longer that you're in the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jackie. I'm so glad you were able to sit down with me today. This has been very refreshing.
It has been. Thank you.
Well, with that, I don't know how much. I always say we killed a perfectly good hour, but I don't even know if we made it to that. But I'm grateful for the time regardless. I'd like to thank George with New Wave Studios for coming out here, photographing us, videoing us, doing all this that I can't do. And I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Certainly it's in my heart to continue this and get to know some more people. So keep tuning in. Thank you.
Thank you.